What's up? My name is Jake Lynn. We are at Pulse Lighting in Nashville, or in Goodlettsville, excuse me. And I wanted to walk you through my new drum set that we're taking out on tour with Wyatt Flores this year. It started with, I played tenors in high school. I'm also a big fan of Phil Collins, so that like tenor concert drum sound was a part of my early childhood like drum experience. And that just kind of stuck with me, and eventually I started taking the toms off, the bottom heads off toms, and I was kind of getting it, but not quite it. And then I discovered the Rhythm Traveler. I actually bought my first Rhythm Traveler on the road in a gas station in Texas. I think it was $200. It had the whole kit with it, snare and all the toms. And I took that out on the road. It was the thing I needed. It was exactly what I was looking for, and my front of house guy at the time really loved it. And that's when I discovered the free floaters as well. I was using a 14x5 brass free floater and a 14x6.5 maple. And that was the thing for a while. And then I had moved on to playing with Wyatt Flores, and that was still the thing. But when we got to talking, I was looking for a little bit more. My front of house guy also was just looking for just a little more tone. Why not go back to tenors? I came to the shop and we hit them and like tuned them down, which I'd never tuned a tenor down before in my life. Didn't know if it was how that was gonna work. Hit it once with just like a stock paper thin head. It was perfect. The staccato sound that I get with the Rhythm Traveler and now the Finalist, they really helped me fit into the mix the way I needed to, stay out of the bass player's range, stay out of the way of the rest of the band. But this year we just needed something a little fuller with a little bit more direction, and that's where we arrived with the Finalist. These birch tenors that really put forth the note that I'm looking for and the direction that I'm looking for without the sustain. It's been perfect. It's exactly what our front of house engineers and I have been looking for. All right, sizes. Starting on the very left, we have the smallest of my toms, which is a 10, and I have that up-tuned to timbali tuning. Then we make our way over here. This is a 10, 12, 13, and then a 14 tom all the way on the right. And then my favorite piece, can't skip the bongos. Bobby Allende series bongos, which are great. And then my favorite piece of all is my 20x7 Masters Maple kick drum. It is spectacular. And this hardware, unlike the Rhythm Traveler, this is quite an improvement. It's bulkier hardware that sticks out straight. I used to have to put teeth on the front to keep it from sliding, but this keeps it right in place. Solid. It's as solid as it sounds. My favorite part about the Icon rack is obviously it's been contorted into exactly what we need, but it's so stable. Nothing moves. Everything is memory locked. Mostly stays together when it's in the semi. We fold the rack with all the cymbals on and some of the actually all of the toms. We fold them together, and that gets ratchet strapped down to the riser, pushed into the truck, gets pushed back out, folded back out, nothing moves. Nothing has ever moved we're now on 2 years with this same rack, no problems. One piece of Pearl gear that I cannot live without is my 20x7 kick drum. That kick drum, from the Rhythm Traveler to the Finalist, has been the most consistent piece of gear that I've had. But, your kick drum sound is everything. It's like you're hitting it either every 1 in 3 or every 4 beats of every bar of every song. And this you put a head on it, you put a mic on it, you kick it, it's done. There's no overtones, it sits exactly in the mix where I need it. It's my favorite. It's my favorite. My snare selection over on the far left is a 14x6 free floater maple. That is my fat boy. It's got all the gush. It's wide open right now too, and it stays there. It was a Tom 1 when I was doing the Rhythm Traveler, but now it is just a fat snare. My main snare is a 14x6 Sensitone brass, and that's just to like mid crank. Like I needed it to cut, but I also still needed, I still need the body, and that works out perfect. And then my third snare is a 14x5 walnut Music City custom snare drum. It's still a cutting drum, but it's not as barky, and it really lets the main snare just be bark. So I can go up to the snare 3 when I need something a little tighter. And the walnut, you know, it's so warm, and Ron did an excellent job. Much appreciation to Ron. Thank you for that snare. And the rest of the Music City Custom Shop for that matter. This entire drum set wouldn't be possible without all of them taking a chance on this and really caring and putting forth excellent craftsmanship. This is by far the best drum set that I've ever had, sonically and visually. Pearl, the best reason to play drums.